proceed.
What's up, guys? Ncaa 31 here, bringing you some NCAA 13 online dynasty footage. I'm using Colorado going up against Toledo in a user versus user matchup. And I'm gonna shift gears a little bit. I've been talking a lot in my scheme videos, breakdown videos, what have you, mostly about defense. I did my 3-3-5 stack series, which has become a bit of an annual affair. I did a couple of videos discussing the Tampa 2 and how to implement that into the game.
He drops to throw on first down.
Stuff like that. And I'm going to shift gears and talk some offense now. And seeing how this is a game where both of us are running the spread, I'm running a spread no huddle style using Notre Dame's Playbook, surprise, surprise, and he's using spread as well with Toledo. Why not start the offensive ball rolling with talking about the spread? Spread offense has been around for a while. You know, football's an interesting game. Things have a way of coming full circle. Things that are things that seem new usually haven't done before in some way, shape, or form.
The 43-yard line.
And you know, the spread is no different. It's been around for a long, long time. TCU is running spread back in the 50s. Paul Johnson has been running his spread option both at Georgia Tech and at Navy most prominently forever. You're probably saying, spread option, Paul Johnson, what are you talking about? They run the flex point, they run the triple option. That's what he calls his offense. He calls his offense the spread option. So I'm just going to go by what he calls his own offense. Who am I to question him? And we've seen, you know, variations of no-huddle offenses before. We've seen the Buffalo Bills run the no-huddle with the K-gun, the Cincinnati Bengals with the attack offense. In the 90s, we saw Florida State with Charlie Ward and their fast break offense. And, you know, now you see it a lot more prominently in the NFL teams going no-huddle, and also in the college ranks where the spread has gained a lot of popularity. You know, we view the fathers of the modern spread offense as, over the past, 12 years or so, as principally Urban Meyer, Rich Rodriguez, Brian Kelly, Gus Malzahn, Chip Kelly, and then you have different offshoots from those types of styles, people borrowing from each other, which is what happens in football. People kind of cannibalize each other's schemes. Even in the air raid offense, you see people like Kevin Summerlin and Tony Franklin implement elements of a spread style QB running game in their offenses. Franklin, when he was at Middle Tennessee with Dwight Dasher, and watching Texas A&M this year, their quarterback is pretty athletic, and he carries the ball, quite a few times on designed runs. So you see that sprinkling into the air raid as well, even with the run and shoot. When Bryant Moniz was at Hawaii, they implemented parts of the zone read game into their offense. But just for the purpose of talking about the spread, I'm going to save the run and shoot and the air raid for another day, and just focus on the spread as a system that has the quarterback as a viable running threat. And you're spreading the field to run the football in some capacity, whether you're running a spread option style where you're hammering the run and running play action pass off of that, and using your QB as a glorified tailback who can throw well enough to keep defenses honest, or if you're running the style of spread that I prefer. I prefer more of a finesse style, up-tempo style, with an air raid style passing game, draws and counters with enough read option to keep you honest. Like this quarterback here for Colorado, good thrower, I have a good set of receivers. His throwing ratings are 88 accuracy, 87 throwing power. and his speed on the run is 70. He's got a decent elusiveness and break tackle already, nothing special, but enough to at least make the read option have to be defended. And that's what I view the spread offense is. Not only are you wanting to spread the defense wide and vertically, you also want to have them account for everybody on the field as a running and passing threat, or running and receiving threat rather, quarterback running the football or throwing, halfback as a runner or receiver, backs and tight ends in space, both as runners and receivers on bubble screens, jet sweeps, options, play action, vertical seams, whatever. You want to put as much stress on the D as possible. And I feel that the game does a pretty nice job of replicating the various styles of spread attacks and replicating the playbooks, pretty authentically at the schools run. The only quibble that I would have, or one of the quibbles that I would have, is that there's not really enough designed QB runs. Like say you're using the Ohio State playbook, the Urban Meyer playbook, and you want to use Braxton Miller the way Braxton Miller is being used this year, it's really hard to get involved in the running game outside of the read option and QB rat. There's not enough QB dives, sweeps, counters, and all that good stuff.
Great coverage, and it's intercepted. And he's tackled at the 42-yard.
I'd like to see more of that. You can certainly add more of that by going the custom playbook route, but I'd like to see more of that in the stock playbook. And going back to what I was talking about, how everything that's old becomes new again. I played in a wing T offense, and I was talking to my old high school quarterback. I went to a small high school, and because we were a small school, most of us played both ways, both offense and defense. And while I was primarily a safety, I also played and had to play some offense. And I played the Percy Harvin role as a wingback in our version of the wing T. And my old high school quarterback, he's an offensive coordinator now, and he blends some of those old concepts with what he's doing. And when I watch, spread option teams, go to work, I say to myself, they're running things we used to run out of our own wing T, but doing it out of shotgun. And I'm talking to my old high school quarterback, and he's like, yeah, we gotta do things like that in order to get kids to play it. Which I find interesting because, one of the things that happened to Tom Osborne, the Nebraska, coach, back when he was running the option with Tommy Frazier, Eric Crouch, and all those guys, was the game kind of passed him by, and he stopped being able to get, those real high quality athletes that you need to really make that system go. I really believe that traditional option football can still work. You just have to have the athletes to run it like anything else. I would love to see, Paul Johnson get a chance to coach a school where he can get some really prime athletes, just to see what that offense can do with a level playing field. But, the thing is, kids don't want to run it. They want to get to the NFL. They want to play in the shotgun. They want to play in up-tempo offenses. So you could kind of view the spread option as kind of conning kids into thinking that they're doing something, new and innovative, when all they're doing is basically running option principles that have been around forever, out of a shotgun formation, out of a more modern formation.
He's at the 20. They'll bring him down at the 8-yard line.
And here we go late into the fourth quarter. I would say that my favorite spread playbooks in the game are Notre Dame's, Ohio State, TCU, and Arizona's. I'm fiddling around with the Ohio State playbook in the Powerhouse Online Dynasty with Notre Dame. I happen to have a team that's set up perfectly to run it.
He's scrambling.
I just don't quite know who to play at quarterback, but I have so much perimeter speed that it seems like it would be a waste not to run it. And I love Notre Dame playbook because I view it as the anything you want it to be spread playbook. You can pass out of it very well. You can run out of it pretty well. The only thing you can't really do out of it is run with power out of the shotgun. The shotgun running is more finesse, but you also have some under center ace formations in order to, get that between the tackles running game going if you really need to have one. But I really like the way it spreads the field with a variety of formations and pretty, simple pass reads. It reminds me a lot of a traditional air raid as far as that goes. You see a lot of mesh, shallow cross, you see a lot of spot concepts and digs, vertical seams concepts all over the place, which is a Brian Kelly staple, and really gives me a lot of versatility. I like TCUs as well because it gives you some pistol to combine with the shotgun, and again it's a very balanced type of spread playbook. It can do both the explosive passing game as well as give you a good balanced running game, pretty equally.
He's taken down at the
and I like the Arizona and OSU books as your wood cutting power run spread option attack. I like the Ohio State playbook slightly better because I like the play action passing game better. And there's a couple of formations that I like in it that are not in the Arizona playbook that I wish were in it. But I like the Arizona playbook also, but not quite as much as the OSU one, the Ohio State playbook.
Calls it in as he's pushed out of bounds.
And here we are in overtime. I hate the one thing I dislike about college football is college football overtime. We just spent 4 quarters playing a very good game, going back and forth, and now we're in a situation where, the field is shortened and it's going to be arena football from here on out until someone gets a stop or someone makes a mistake. But anyhow, that is my take, my little introduction to talking about the spread.
And he comes up short on the 2-point conversion.
And I'll do a more in-depth video about the ins and outs of the 2 playbooks I'm using right now to run the spread, both the Notre Dame playbook and the Ohio State playbook. And all the goodies you can do out of each.
That's another big touch.
And speaking of my Notre Dame Fighting Irish, that was the best offensive game they've played in the Brian Kelly era. At least I think. We still haven't seen the full, offensive genius that is BK. Partially because he hasn't had the quarterback he likes. Well, I think that's mainly the reason. He hasn't had the quarterback that he likes. But also, he hasn't had the right combination of quarterback and supporting cast. Last season, he had a great supporting cast with Floyd and, all those tight ends. And Sierra Wood, but I don't think he really loves Tommy Reese. I think he tolerates him, and I think Golson's just growing up. So I'll be very interested to see how his offense continues to evolve at Notre Dame, and hopefully we'll see it get to a point where we're seeing it be as explosive as it was at Cincinnati. So that's it for this discussion for now. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be posting more spread offense videos in the coming week or so. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.